Oh, dang, it went away. Wrong thing. Yeah. Hello, welcome to Can Angels Fly, Tarot, and more. My name is Nancy, and I am live tonight to have an Aquarius rant. I do believe this will be a brief Aquarius rant. And as you can see, to the side of me, it says, keep your eyes open. In just a short while, I'll be discussing why I'm suggesting that you keep your eyes open. But until then, I guess I should submit my plugs. Of course, I'm a professional tarot reader, so you can always contact me by email to order your own personal tarot reading. My email is canangelsfly1 if you'd like to support my channel, you can do so by through Cash App. Yeah, Cash App. My Cash App is $ Can Angels Fly Tarot. Yesterday, I think it was yesterday that I did a live, and I attempted to try to use I wonder if let's see if I can. Ooh, I did it. I'm getting good. I attempted to use Google Earth while live because I wanted to show y'all something, and my live stream was terminated for whatever reason. I couldn't read what it was, the warning why my live was terminated, but I figured what happened. I wasn't even sure if I could actually use Google Earth live, so okay. Before I went live, I tried to pull an image from Google that depicts physics. And whenever I pull an image from Google, I always go to the advanced settings and request images that are how do I now? It won't let me go over. That's okay. I ain't tripping. I move like this. Nope, that wasn't enough. Move like that. What about that? Okay, maybe a little bit. I don't know. Whew, I ain't gonna trip. Okay. Whenever I pull images from Google, I go to advanced settings and set the advanced settings with the what do you call it, usage rights to, you know, basically, I don't even remember what it used to say, something like free use or something like that. So yesterday when I went to pull an image that conveys physics, which is a field of study, academic discipline, it only gave me 2 usage rights. One was the Creative Common Law, and another was commercial common law or something like that. So I was like, oh man, I remember one time trying to, you know, learn about the Creative Commons, and I do recall, at least I think I recall, that it was saying that I had to pay for something, you know, in order to access it, but I could be wrong. I'm still trying to figure it out now. But the reason why I'm coming back with this same thing again in an Aquarius rant is because today I was like, I'm gonna pull a picture of something that depicts, what was it? It was something simple. It was something real simple. And so I did what I always have done, and I went to the advanced settings again and went to choose, you know, free use or whatever it was that was listed there, and it wasn't there for this very basic thing. I can't remember what it was. I said, okay. I said, something's wrong. So I refreshed my page, and then I went in again and put in just the term flowers. And so when I refreshed my page, put in the term flowers, it pulled up all, um, suggestions for my term, my keyword flowers, and then I clicked on images. So I got all these images of flowers. Then I went to advanced settings to do what? Go to the usage rights that I usually choose, which give me free usage. I don't have to give no attributes or no license codes or nothing like that. And today, again, that free usage one, whatever it was, I can't remember exactly what it said, wasn't there. So I'm like, okay, but what was there was Creative Commons license and commercial license, whatever it was, for commercial use or whatever. And so, I was shocked because flowers are so stereotypical or basic. And so I was like, if I use any one of these images that are on the screen, I have to either attribute it to whoever the creator is, I guess follow the link or whatever, and give the link to where the image comes from, and the license, or however. I'm still trying to figure out how to cite if I use the image. So I think that I understand that people want credit for their work. I get that, because I would love to have credit for my work, but I don't. But I get it, But there are certain things that seem so basic. No, it's not just that it's basic. It's if it's everything that is offered in Google, that if a person uses, they have to give credit where credit is due. You have to give it to them, no matter how minor the image is. No matter. I'm thinking, I'm tripping that I'm looking at something wrong. Again, I'm not the brightest cookie in a jar, but I'm not the crumble. I'm not the crumbled cookie. But so I'm looking at the various images. I'm like, okay. So I click on one of the images of flowers, and I end up going to the I guess like a website. I don't even remember what it was. And so I'm looking like, okay, well, how do I cite this particular image of flowers? Because once I got to the website, I didn't see, but I'm gonna go back and do it again. But I didn't see the license code, anywhere on the page or around the picture. So I'm like, how do I cite the license? I'm like, okay. And so the reason why I titled this Aquarius Rant is Keep Your Eyes Open, is because right up under our noses, what I say, our creative freedom is being restricted. And I know it sounds really lame of me to say it, because again, everybody wants credit for their work. I understand that. But like I said, when I went to the site, for flower, that I just chose some flowers. It said, like for instance, when I did the search in Google and I chose one of the images of flowers, it has underneath it the title of like the page or website or whatever, and then underneath it has the information about the licensing. And so I clicked on the licensing, and it just talks about the different types of license. And so then I clicked directly on the image so it could take me what it's linked to. And so I'm like, okay, how do I cite this image? How do I cite this image correctly? Now I've been trying to study Creative Commons licensing, and I'm trying to figure out if it costs anything. I'm not seeing any prices for it, but I remember seeing something that said I had to buy in to the license, but it could have just been whatever I was doing at that time, and that was a long while ago, a year or so ago, so I don't recall. So I'm trying to figure out if it costs to get a Creative Commons license to cover like my material. I'm trying to understand clearly how to cite someone's work and the license is under. And I'm also trying to get a clear understanding. How can I discern how many licenses any given piece has? Because some pieces, depending on what they are, can have multiple licenses covering them. So even if a person uses one license, or the terms to a particular license to use a particular piece, if I oblige the terms of one license, then I have to be aware that there are other licenses. If there are other licenses that come out, that are also over that particular piece, and then I have to oblige all of them. Otherwise, I could be, guilty of copyright infringement. So I'm also trying to make sure that I understand clearly, how would I say, it's so much, the reason why, let me stop. I know I was talking about the things that I'm trying to understand. Again, this is Aquarius Rant, so I be all over the place. If you follow me, I'm trying to go somewhere with it, and I just ask you to ride the wave with me, if you will. So I was looking at, if a person does consciously or unconsciously commit copyright infringement, what are the consequences? Well, and what I've been reading, because I've been trying to figure this stuff out, it says that Google doesn't come after you for copyright infringement. That's up to the person that owns the material to find it, somehow find that you've used it in some way, and they can pursue you legally. And so why am I bringing this up? Why is this important to me? And it might be important to you, or maybe another creator. It's because, like I said, just a couple of weeks ago. Now, let me say this before I forget. So when I'm on this, looking for, trying to get to the part of the advanced search that offers me free reign images I can use, and I'm not seeing this any, I end up clicking on, I said, okay, well, I have tried before to really understand all of these different licenses. One time I really tried my best to cite one, and it was when I made the video, The Secret Message, where I talked about the world going into a depression. And in that video, I have an image of a cloaked ghoul or something like that. And this cloaked ghoul, I couldn't find a better image than that one. So I was like, all right, I gotta cite it. And so I did my best to cite it and put it at the bottom of the image. I forgot what I was going to say because I'm fussing. I'm about to fuss and cuss so much in a minute. So I did try to cite it, and I wasn't clear then. I was trying to learn back then, and that was, I think, last year, October or September or October that I did that video. So I was trying to understand the licensing there. So when I was starting to research tonight to try to study it some more so I can get a clear understanding, because I don't want to mess up. I don't want to end up in court, with some legal issues. I think I ended up on Wikipedia, searching, to get the basics. I like Wikipedia because it allows me to gather up the basics first, and then I can, advance from there. It said that Wikipedia, I do believe it was Wikipedia, that particular page dealing with Creative Commons license had just been, what's the word, updated, revised, how they stated, had been last edited on September 3rd, 2020 at 5:31 Universal Standard, I guess UTC time. Why is that important? It's important because on September 3rd of 2020 at about 5:30 UTC time, that suggests that whoever created that page that gave all the basic information or preliminary information about Creative Commons license made some adjustment on that page. And as mentioned, I most recently, if you follow me, you see all the different images I use. The majority of them are from Google. Again, I go and I click on the advanced settings to get the material or images that's free. Free to manipulate, do what you want, present them, whatever, without having to give no citation or what they call attributes. So, I know that, at least I believe, that the adjustment that was made to that page dedicated to the Creative Commons license on Wikipedia changed September 3rd of this year, because there has been some changes like right up under our noses. I know this because, again, I was just pulling images off of Google that were free use. So something is going on right up under our nose. We got to keep our eyes open. So a couple of things I think I might have to deal with is that I have put a lot of images, because I like show and tell, off of Google. Again, they have been from as far as the rights usage or whatever it's called. It was free for me to use. No obligations, no strings attached. And so I chose to use those things and modify some of those things or images in order to help me present whatever concept or idea or subject matter I was, presenting at any given time. And so if things have changed now that a person has to cite where the source of their image, a person like me is in trouble, because a lot of the icons, thumbnails for my videos are some image that I pulled from Google and either modified or remix is the term that they use, or modified in some way to do what? To be entertaining and to convey a message, and to enhance, to have show and tell, to enhance my lives. So is that going to mean that I will have to change the, most of the images I have ride through my whole video. They ride through my whole entire video. It'd be my background, my backdrop, everything. I'll be interacting with stuff. So I'll be modifying some of the images that I see. Like I did a video on the Ouija board. Well, I pulled the Ouija board off of Google too. It was free usage. I took it, I modified it. How did I modify it? I clipped it out, made it where I could move it around and move the what's it called, a planelet around, the little thing, the oracle around, so it could be interactive. Another time I had a carnival here, and I pulled images of food and rides and everything out, and I did what? I modified them. I made them where I could move the food around and hand it out and do stuff like that. So is it going to mean when all of this comes out, if I'm correct, that I'm going to have to close up all my videos or erase all my, well, they probably won't make me erase them. I'm paying attention to this corporation, and they won't say, oh, Nancy, you got to erase them, but they will say they can't be public. They can't be viewed. And so I was like, is that going to be an issue? Many times when it comes to legal things, a lot of times it has to do with the date of when something was implemented. And so if they come to me on, the basis of me having so many images pulled from Google, I'm gonna have to go with the date that this has been implemented. The change to, it's not just openly free reign images anymore, but having to cite everything. Why is this a problem? I mean, outside of myself, including but not limited to myself, it's because, number one, this Creative Commons license stuff, the language is basic, but yet it's still legal. It's still legal. I don't know what kind of make up a word. So when I'm reading, I went from Google reading, then I end up over at the actual site creativecommons.org licenses, and I'm reading it. It's basic, but also is legal. It's not full-blown legal terminology, but it still carries the essence of legality, And so it really, like, my head started hurting, like, oh my God. I done told y'all I done fought a few lawsuits, pro se, and that was my biggest issue when fighting those lawsuits, was reading, the laws and everything that I had to read in order to get through what I was going through. I never want to go through that again. It was just too much to have to sit down. Like, this is even what I had to do with the Bible back in the day. You can read and say the words, but not really comprehend what it's saying. That's why I was in the church, because I was reading and being read to and being preached to, but not understanding what those scriptures were really saying. It was not until I sat down and took one sentence or verse at a time and sat there and meditated on it for however long it took me. It might have took me an hour, some other verses a day. Some I'm still sitting up thinking and pondering, to gain clarity on and understanding, to be able to truly comprehend what I was reading and what governed my life all of them years. And so here I sit, relative to be, going through the church. Here I sit today, when I finally was able to comprehend what was in that Bible. I was freed from religion, and I could finally wholeheartedly be spiritual. I could finally dive off into astrology and tarot reading and things like that, and sit here on YouTube and share what I know. So now here I am, back at a place like I was when I fought those lawsuits, needing to read every single sentence and comprehend it. Then y'all know I'm not the best reader. So then I found myself, I gotta highlight this word and search it out and find out what that means. Then I got to go back and stick with the definition is in the place and read it again. My reading so poor, it ain't 2 or 3 words down the line before I got to search the pronunciation and the definition of the next word. And they've written it fairly basic, but it goes on and on and on and on, and it talks about the different types of creative common license. And I don't know, I can't remember how many there are, 4 or 5 or whatever it is. I printed it out, some of it out. But this is an issue. This is an issue. I don't know if I'm seeing what I'm seeing, because I know somebody got to come behind me on this. Now this was September 3rd when that. Oh, okay. It's only been 7 days. It's only been 7 days. Okay, a week. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 different. I didn't think I read that many. Creative Commons license. Well, I mean, talk about the positive part of the Creative Commons license. What it does for our artist, a creator, or author, creator of whatever, is it gives them protection in a sense that they will be acknowledged for their work. So I can't argue that, because I am a person that has always wanted to receive some accolades for my work, for a job well done, and it has rarely ever happened. You know, people have stole my stuff, all kind of stuff. So I understand that. I truly understand that. It also will help a creator like get clientele and attention. You know, attention on them, on their creative abilities. But I'm gonna give you an example of how this bothers me. Last year, I made a video, and it was called "The Life of Christ, Jesus Christ Through Artworks," or something like that. The Life of Jesus Christ Through Artworks, or something. Anywho, I'm on Google once again, because I tell you I love Google. Never had so much access at hand. As a mother of 5, I know I'm deterring. This is an Aquarius rant. Ride the wave with me, if you will. As a single mom of 5, going to university and working, I didn't have, you know, I've gone through all of that and have to go to the library, is what I'm saying. I had to go out to get material. I had to go out to make copies. I had to go out for this and out for that. And then a day finally came when the internet and everything was up and popping, where I could build my office right here, you know, with the printer, multiple printers, fax machines. I can online fax. I can get what do you call it, a notary public online, a notary online. You know what I'm saying? So it got to the point where I could sit at home and access whatever university I went to gave me access to different professional journals and things, so I could sit there and pull information to cite sources to cite all day, professional sources. Again, I could send faxes, get notaries. I could do whatever, you know. Aquarius Rant, you know I forget. And so what I was about to say. So anyway, I'm fussing and cussing the benefits of, and what's the problem. So I forgot I was going to connect that, but okay, remember that. About my life story. Anywho, so back last year I was creating a video, and it was about the life of Christ using artwork. And the reason why I chose to make that video, because I was talking about what it means to be conscious, a conscious being, and what Christ really represents, you know. And I talked in that video about how Christ represents the consciousness. It's about the resurrection. We are in a period of resurrection of consciousness and awareness, and therefore we have the opportunity to ascend, you know. And I bring that up because I was looking for different artworks during different, you know, by it didn't matter which artist it was from, but it was the story of Christ's life, which is he was, you know, it was the Annunciation, where Mother Mary was, you know, Mary was told by an archangel that she was about with child, and it went from that to the nativity and the birth of Christ. Then it went to Christ teaching in the temple. Then it went to his, you know, Judas and all of that. It went to, you know, this has all been depicted in artwork, and all of that, the whole story of Christ depicted in artwork, even to the even to his passion or crucifixion, his entombment, the resurrection, all of that talks about consciousness. And the reason why I'm talking about it, because of the artwork I tried to pull up. Now, all of those artworks are over 100 years old. Now, when I was doing my studies trying to figure out about this licensing to use images, anything over 100 years old is free reign. It's free reign. Because the artist has been dead. He can't get nothing from it, from it. And so the issue is that I don't have access to the lamination of Christ, whoever artist did it. I don't have direct access to the Pieta. You know what I'm saying? So I can't take the picture. So there's somebody that is a photographer that goes to wherever, the Louvre, the Vatican, wherever it is, and they snap the picture. And so they become the creator. And so I have to obey whatever licenses they put their work under here on the internet, because they done took a picture of 100-year-old image or picture or statue. So that's the problem, because in a way it is, blocking a person like me as a creator from creating. Again, I get people want credit for their work, but how is this gonna go? I just see it is complicating people's ability to express themselves. I mean, because if it's everything, everything, I can understand everybody's not a professional. That's not their intent to be a professional or make money or build a career. So why is everything looking like it's under some type of creative common license? Why is it getting it's so complicated? Maybe once I get it down, I will be able to understand what I'm, looking at. What is going on with this thing? I just refreshed my page and say nobody said nothing. They are playing with your videos. It's delayed. I want to watch, but it's choppy. Really? Thank you for telling me that. I would have had no idea from my perspective. I don't even know what to do to make it better. I don't have anything except for these words up. So why is it choppy? Like I said, it's been one thing after another when I make a video or I go live. I don't even have a big following. What is going on? And then this stuff here, oh my God. So, anybody out there, let me know. I'm going to stay on a few more minutes if it's still choppy. Because I really don't know what I could possibly do. Well, let me look at this internet of mine. Because that's been another thing. That's been a whole nother thing. Pay all this money for the internet, and every time I turn around, it's going out. I got rid of the cable. What do you call it? The cable with the movies and stuff, just to have the best of the internet they got. Just to have the best of the internet they got. I said if I want to watch a movie, I could just buy, a subscription to whatever. And it's still crap. It's still crap. It makes me angry. And so, anyway, I've been trying to understand. This was something else I was going to talk about. They made me mad about the thing. Keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open. Our creative expression is being restricted. You ain't gonna express yourself. This is not the first time I made a video that pointed this out. That our creative abilities or our freedom of speech or liberties are being restricted. I made a video, and I think it's entitled Article 13 or something like that. Your free speech is, being restricted in some way. Say Article 13 or something. In that video, I was I shared what I had noticed then, and I think that was almost 2 years ago. Um, and it's we are being manipulated, and I think that's what eats me up. We are being manipulated, and something's going on with my mind too, y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. Something's going on with my mind, and I don't know why. I'm trying to figure it out. I did figure out why the age of Aquarius. I figured it out. I might probably do another live stream on that. But something's wrong with my mind, and I realized there's something wrong with my mind. When I was reading all this information on Creative Commons, it also had whatever is going on with my mind was also plaguing me when I was reading on physics and things like that. My level of comprehension once was, I'll say, moderate. You know, again, I'm not the crispiest cookie in a jar, but neither am I the crumbled one. And so my comprehension was, you know, moderate. It was, I could work with it. You know, I could get through the various obstacles or challenges in this world. I could deal and contend with the system of things. But like when I was reading on physics, when I say my mind was jumbled, like, but I was like, okay, I just excused it because I was like, shoot, it's physics, you know. But when I was reading this common law information, they've written legal they've written, see, I can't think of the words. I'm getting where I can't think of words. They've written legal information in a more common manner. But even though it's written in a more common manner, it's been difficult for me to comprehend. I want to give you an example. Let's see. Is this Wikipedia? Oh, yeah. You know I like starting with Wikipedia. Oh, yeah. And I found some interesting stuff out, y'all. Yeah. Let me see. Nope. Gotta go back. Now this is Wikipedia. Don't even start. Oh, let's see. Performance issues. Performance issues. They gonna do what they gonna do, but this is getting out of control, and it's coming from every angle. But I ain't gonna complain. A matter of fact, I can't even, like, you know, I get on here and I'll show Wikipedia and the research I've done. I think that's not okay anymore. I gotta go deeper, because in what I was studying today, reading about this Creative Commons license, I think it is. Wikipedia is a part of it. Anywho, so right now I can't show you because I'm not sure exactly what's going on. Again, my brain is not comprehending what I'm reading. So I don't want to show any more images. If I show any images, it's because I done found something that I know is free use on this internet, or I created. And it's interesting how my mind works, because I see it in a live stream I made a week or two ago. I said I'm going to the dollar store and I'm gonna buy some paint and some canvas. Then I thought about what the dollar store offers. I love the Dollar Tree too. But the canvas is very small, and the paints are usually, you know, like little water-based little paints. And I've painted in my life, and so I like a quality. So I would want a reasonable size canvas. You know what I'm saying? Like 12 by 16, 14 by 16 at least. And I want some oil paints, and all that stuff costs. I even looked at it, and I said I'm going to start sitting here on YouTube and do some painting. And the reason I was going to do that, because we're looking to build brighter days, you know, to be positive. I bring that up because I was like, it was time for me to be creative. Earlier in my YouTube career, I was a little more creative. I went to the dollar store and I bought the decorations, and I got a bunch of crepe paper and stuff and made all that stuff up and decorated the background. But that's costly, you know. And so I found the images on Google, and I was like, oh, that's affordable. I could do that. It's just my time and effort is not the money. So anyway, I'm going to Wikipedia, and I just want to read what Wikipedia says about Creative Commons license. I know you're like, Nancy, what do it have to do with me? It has to do with us all, because like you may not be a creator, and so that you're not up close and personal with changes like this, so it will slip in under your nose, where creators may have an issue now, and your issue may come later when you're trying to express yourself and you can't. Or how about this? What if you created something like myself and put it in on Google or the internet or somewhere, and somebody else just get to pick your stuff up and claim it as theirs, slide it right on underneath and claim it as theirs? And if any I don't know if this is the case, this is me just venting. By any case, it draws some money or some abundance. Somebody else get paid for your work or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of stuff out here. What happened to all the free stuff that was just there? That's my question. What happened to all the free stuff that was just there? Anywho, I gotta read this, y'all. Y'all won't believe it. If you just stick around, I'm gonna say some things. I'm gonna read something that's gonna shock you. You're gonna be like, what? I'm intentionally gonna get there. So ride the wave. Anywho, I'm at Wikipedia. I can't show it to you. Why? Because I'm dealing with this these license, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, because I read it but not comprehending, Wikipedia is a part of it. And that's why yesterday when I used Google Earth, they terminated my live. I had Google Earth. I had took a map, a plain old map. Well, it wasn't a plain map, a map off the internet showing the location of resources. Okay. Create, and they go ahead, because I'm an artist too. I'm gonna show y'all my paintings and stuff one day. Creative Commons license. It says this article is about the Creative Commons license for the organization that produced them. See Creative Commons. So I got to go right over to Creative Commons to, and I got that website open as well. Particular Creative Commons license names redirected, such as CC by SA, which is used by WAC media projects, including Wikipedia. I had missed that earlier. And Fandom Waka. See Wikipedia text of Creative Commons attributes share alike 3.0 unported license. Anywho, let's see what I can read from here, because I'm going somewhere with this again. What if you just ride the wave for me, if you will? A Creative Commons license is one of several public copyrights license. What did I just read? Remember, I have to stop every sentence. I have to stop and make sure I've comprehended every sentence. It says a Creative Commons license, what I'm talking about and ranting about right now, is one, it's just one of several public copyright licenses. What does it mean by? So now I'm on Google, on Wikipedia. I'm highlighting public license, because I don't know what a public license is. See, this is the problem when you start dealing with legal stuff. What does everything mean? Well, now I'm looking at public license, or public copyright license. Is a license by which a copyright holder, see, I gotta read slow, y'all, by which a copyright holder is licensor. I gotta say this. What I learned dealing with law is that they always gave a glossary of what everything means. So immediately, I feel like I need to go to the Dollar Tree and buy a notebook so I can start taking some notes, because now I'm going under finding out what a public license is, or aka a copyright license. And it says under that, it's a license by which a copyright holder, maybe me, as licensor, can grant additional copyright permission to any and all persons in the general public as licensees. You're gonna fall up under my license, y'all licensees, if you want to use anything of mine. By applying a public license to a work, to what? Is it to an artwork, a poem? What else I don't know what it was a whole list of stuff, but that's the whole thing. You got to go find out what can be licensed and under which license. I was like, okay. Well, I'm going somewhere with this. I just need to read the right thing to take you somewhere, to show you something else, y'all, because I'm tripping. Okay. By applying a public license to a work, provided that the licensee you obey the terms and conditions of the license that I put my work under. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah, you like my work right here, you can use it. But I got this work under a license. And so if you want to use this work, depending on which license I got, you can use it. Licensees. But you got to come to me. Well, not directly me. You have to give me credit. You have to cite the license that I got this covered under, so everybody know where you got it from, and that it's a license over it, and they gotta adhere to these terms and conditions to even use it. Some of these licenses say you can look at it, you can copy it, but you better not show it to nobody else. Or you can copy it, you can even modify it, but you can't show it to nobody else. Other licenses say you can copy it, you can use it, you can modify it. And once you modify it, then you got to put it under a license that's equivalent to what I got. Nothing greater and nothing less. Anywho, what was I just reading? Because I'm tripping. This is Aquarius Rant. I'm going somewhere with this, y'all. Okay, so what am I dealing with right now? I'm talking about this Creative Commons license. I know you say, what does it have to do with me? It may have a lot to do with you. It depends on what you got going on in your life. I don't know. Maybe you end up being a part of the community outreach, a non-profit organization event. I don't know, go to the school and you over decorations or something, or making a newsletter or something, and you want to pull some images off the internet. I ain't sure, but I'm telling you, I think I kind of get it, but okay. Anywho, still dealing with this CC, which is the Creative Commons license, CC, short for CC. A CC license is used when an author wants to give other people the right to share, use, and build upon the work that they, the author, have created. I know you're saying you ain't got no problem with that, Nancy, do you? Yes, to some extent I do. Because it's everything. Everything that I was looking on Google is now underneath having to deal with this Creative Commons license stuff. Everything. It didn't give me the option for free reign stuff at all. That's the issue I have with it. Now, if I got a choice, I was saying, of course, the better images and pieces, I'm really talking about images primarily, were professional. So I dig that they don't want me to touch it without giving them their accolades and letting them know, hey, this is covered under license, is mine. If you want to know who took this, who got these skills, is me, come my way. I don't have no problem with that. But there were other things, lesser things, some, not all, that wasn't from a professional hand. It was like some images came from children. Not to say that their work is not worthy of acknowledgement and appreciation, but some of them were children, hand, drawn people. I don't know if I could pull that up right now. All I knew is I put in the key word, the basic word, flowers, and then went to images. and all the flowers. When I asked Google to just give me the free stuff, it wasn't there for me to ask them to give me the free stuff to be able to use to put up in the non-profit organization event, or at the school prom, or on my YouTube page, or on my Facebook page as a decoration. What? None of that. So anyway, let's see. CC. Now, one thing I want to point out, and I don't know if I have it. The Creative Commons license, CC. Now, I just read that last sentence, and it said a CC license is used when an author wants to give other people the right to share, use, and build upon a work that they, the author, have created. Remember, I said in law they usually have a glossary. What is author? Who is the author? You know, what is an author? Is it literally an author that writes? I think I got that answer. See, it's so much I find myself going back and forth. Where was I at? Because where is it at? I don't even know why that's there. I'm gonna close that up. Author. Another performance issue as usual. What is this here? The following list sets out some basic things that you should think about before applying a Common Creative license to your material, or use Common Creative licensed material. It is not an exhaustive list. If you have additional questions or concerns, feel free to post to one of our emails. And I'm still on Wikipedia on another page under same thing. Consideration for licensors. So they got legal terminology glossary here. Licensors, SORS, and licensees if you are using someone else's work, and that will be consideration for licensees. I definitely can't close that page up. I can't remember. I've been jumping around everywhere trying to understand. Oh God, I can't. I'm gonna keep fussing. I gotta keep fussing. Okay. Hi George, how are you? I heard my lab is really crappy, so I'm fussing. How are you doing? So what was I fussing about? This Creative Commons. Oh, I know what I wanted to say. I remember one of the things. It was that since I started YouTube, I've always wanted to show me, who I am. And one of the ways, it's a few ways that I feel that you can get to know a person. One is through food, you know, breaking bread with a person, depending on what they eat, you know, and just being able to sit and eat and exchange and break bread. You get to know a person. You become very intimate with another. You're looking down their mouth while their mouth open and they chewing. Another is through the music, the type of music a person listens to. And since I've been on YouTube, I have attempted to be transparent about who I am through, you know, again, the various decor, you know, that I presented on my channel, even if it was digital. Another way, at one time, I attempted to be transparent about who I am was through music. And I did a video, a live. This was, I think it was my first live, and it was called Let's Be in Love the Right Way. And that's when I realized that I could not play. I think that particular live stream, I played music on it, but shortly after that, you know, YouTube was like, no music, no music. But I played D'Angelo Cruising, and I had my little glass and everything with my sipping, and you know, lights down low, and we was talking about being in love and being in love the right way. We was talking about mistakes that have been made and the corrections that we've made, to do better. And after that, I was, it was YouTube let me know that is not acceptable to play music. Why? Because this D'Angelo or whomever owns the rights to this music, yada yada. You can't use it on your channel to create a vibe or the ambiance. So okay, since that time I have wanted so many times to play music. One time, not too long ago, I said I'm gonna take a chance and just try just a few minutes, and I chose the song by Amy Winehouse called "Back to Black." And I just used a snippet of it. Just a snippet. As a matter of fact, it was a remake, an instrumental remake of Back to Black. Because the tarot reading I was doing was talking about back to black. It's when, and it was about when, you've been in a relationship, it's then you ran this course, then got rocky, but you don't want to let go. You break up, and just to make up, and you come back, and then they leave again. And so again, it was helping me be creative, and I gave acknowledgement of whom created the music. The original artist, Amy Winehouse. And then I went in after that and talked about that it was a what do you call it, a remake, or it was a string quartet. It actually was by a string quartet that had, did a version of Back to Black, all instrumental. So I gave all of that up, only played it for a few minutes before I could get done with that live, which they didn't let me get no views. Why? Because they have blocked my video worldwide. So, okay. How is that? I guess because I would have preferred, I can understood, they say, well, Nancy, you can't make no money off of this particular video because you got Amy Winehouse playing in it for 45 seconds. So even though you make an hour-long video, you can't make no money because you got Amy Winehouse playing for 45 seconds. Okay, at least I can see, okay, but I can still get my message across. I still can be creative. I still can be entertaining and inviting. And I'm introducing people to Amy Winehouse or reminding them of her. You know what I'm saying? And they can, and I done put the, her page, her YouTube page on there, where the, and I also done put the string quartet YouTube page, so I'm promoting them. But instead, they blocked my whole video worldwide because it was I forgot what they call it, something dispute. It was a license. They own the music. I got that. I wasn't trying to claim it. No parts of it. I just love Amy Winehouse. So, and that's what her song was basically about. So that video, I just end up just blocking, making it what do you call it, unvisible, unlisted, because the option that YouTube gave me was to say, hey, would you like us to remove the music from your video? I've even had them ask me, do you want me to remove your image from this video? Well, like I said, some of the images that I have go all the way through my video. So how you gonna cut out the images? Or how's you gonna cut out the music? I try to be very mindful when I do insert something into my video, so it's all playing together. It's all one, part. And you want to extract it out. You're gonna rip the video apart in order to, I guess, make me comply with the license that's over that music. I did a video, and I said I was gonna play the video back. It was called 11/11/11, and it had an image of Michael Jackson that I remixed or modified. But it came for free. You know, even if it's free, I remodify stuff too, because I understand what it is. And they put some restriction on that. I don't remember playing. I might have played some of Mike music. Oh Lord. I even made a little commercial once. I made a little commercial once to advertise tarot readings, my tarot readings. You know, my channel, my tarot readings. And it was, and I did use the music. I used the and I thought it was royalty free, but it didn't mean I could use it in my video. It was Michael Jackson's song. Oh, Michael Jackson's version of what song? The Wizard of Oz song. When I think of home, I think of a place where there's... Is that it? No, that wasn't it. It was one of them songs. I can't think of the song. But I had staged the whole thing, and it was just like beautiful. But again, what happened? They blocked that. And I only used very small, momentary, brief parts of some of it, except for the one when I did the commercial, because it was the what you call karaoke kind. It was the karaoke, but I did cite where I got the karaoke and everything from, and I'm karaokeing. I just got it playing really in the back, real low, because I didn't know the words to the song that I wanted to sing, and so it was real low. But their computers picked up on that song, you know, and me singing it, and so it was like a no. And so I don't be understanding. I don't know what the heck I'm doing wrong, that I haven't been able to successfully play music at all on my channel when I hear other people play music on their channels. Now, some of it I know they may, or they collaborating with some other artists probably here on YouTube. I get that. But I done heard people play music that just general music, you know. And so I'm like I'm saying, it's something, you know, we need to keep our eyes open for. Again, we can't play no music, so we can't promote artists, you know, big time artists, or I guess even, you know, not as well known artists as well. I guess without their permission. I get that without their permission. Not even if you know, cite them. And recently, in the last year, I just recall this statement popping up on people's videos on Facebook and over on here on YouTube and stuff. It says, I don't own the rights to this music. All of a sudden everybody's saying, I don't own the rights to this music. It's written that below everybody, pictures, lives on Facebook and stuff. I don't own the rights to this music. And they playing the music, and they say they don't own the rights. Matter of fact, I did a video. I went live on Facebook. I'm just around, you know, family and friends. It wasn't nothing. It wasn't promoting nothing. I was just talking. Oh, come on now. Come on now. Nibbles. Did y'all hear something? I mean, no. Come on now. Come on now, y'all. Come on now. Oh, okay. I got so much to cuss about, but I'll have to stay focused on this topic during this Aquarius rant. I could fuss. I could talk about the street life and the hood life, and it's just too much. It's too much. It's insanity. It's complete insanity. And it's complete insanity. So now I'm to this place where, and I'm jumping all over the place, I know it, where I'm like, okay, I need to go back and really look at the power that YouTube holds over me and my content. Because I really feel like I'm just giving my content away. I really do. I know that I didn't read the small print. I didn't read it all. I know I didn't. It gave me a headache. So I may very well be giving my content away. And why, oh. I'm gonna stop. Yesterday when I was making a live, I don't remember what it was about, a price cussing and fussing in too. I was saying it's a reason that out of all this history, all the history of humanity, that at this point in time, quote unquote, the age of Aquarius, the powers that be in the last 100 years have been okay with the general population being educated and having, well, they said the first yeah, tell them, sit that shit down. So, I did make it. I'll never make it. So, they said when I researched yesterday and asked Google when was the first university open, they said 1088. Okay. So since 1088, we know the first few hundred years, the general populace did not go to college. So I'm saying in the last 100 years, people have had the freedom to go to college at a decreasing amount of people, right? I'm going somewhere with this. And so now, ushering into the age of Aquarius, we're being ushered into the age of Aquarius. People are more intelligent than they have been in all of history. I'm not taking in consideration Atlantis nor ancient Egypt, because I don't know nothing about that. I'm talking about what I've come to know in my life. We are the bulk of the world's population is now more intelligent than they ever have been. Why? Because they've had access to world travels, and they've had access to higher education, different forms of sources of higher education. So now we're smart. And I said it's a reason that the powers that be, that have always had their foot on the general populace's neck, is allowing people to become highly intelligent. And the answer came to me today. This is what I heard. And I've heard it before. And then I made a video about it. The video is called Why You Exist. Why You Exist. Anywho, the reason why the powers that be want the bulk of the world's population to be more intelligent than it ever has been, because whoever the God is of this realm, the real God, not the Christian, well, it is the Christian God, we just thought it was something else. The real God of this realm was scheduled to manifest here on this earth. And in order for the God to manifest on this earth in physical form, it had to be transferred here. It had to transfer its essence here. I'm going somewhere with this, if I can just remember. And in order, it would be nice if you had the time to go locate that video in my archive called Why You Exist. Why You Exist. And it explains everything. In order to manifest God here on earth, the God who is omnipresent and knows all, is all, the consciousness of the people, which is the multiplicity of the Creator, had to exist. You gotta go watch that video because it's deep. In order to harness the intelligence of the Supreme Being, so that it can do what? Be uploaded now to what is what? AI. That's why they wanted us to be intelligent, because we are reaching for different aspects of consciousness. We all have access to different aspects of consciousness. The perspective I see from is not the perspective you see from. The perspective I see from is not even the perspective that the person next to me see from. If you understand what I'm saying, we're all looking from different angles. We're all experiencing this from every single angle. We all experience pain in different ways. We all think and comprehend differently. We all speak differently. We all love differently. We all feel differently. And all those different aspects, all those variables, I've been using that word, all of those different variables into the gods, is it a gazillion number? All of them is the consciousness of divinity, or the God of this world. And they're going to manifest that intelligence in AI, which is what God manifests on earth. That's why they allow the the masses to gain the knowledge base that they have. And we hear different things about what's going on, and we don't believe it. Like that, which I just shared. We've also heard, many of us have heard about technology and AI performing law enforcement tasks and different things like that. We don't believe that. But that is what will and is and will be necessary in order to contain the masses once that knowledge is extracted from them. Well, it can't be extracted, but copied from them into God on earth. You know what I'm saying? That gets more complicated. Why was I talking about that? Because there are things happening right up under our nose, and we need to keep our eyes open. Everything to why we can't freely express ourselves. In order for me to, it appears to me, I could be wrong again, my level of comprehension is obviously minimal. In order for me to create a very successful, entertaining, intriguing, and alluring YouTube channel, this is just an example, I would have to, I guess, create my own music and beats. I would have to create my own music and beats. I would have to create my own imagery and paintings and all kinds of things on every topic that I want to enhance. Or I can seek out, find a relative music, contact the creator of it, give them their attributes, get an agreement in writing. Because somewhere I read something, it had nothing, at least I don't think it had nothing to do with the CC stuff. But to actually contact a creator or something, whatever, and get written permission from them to use their stuff. If that's the case, if a creator has to go to that extreme, we are really, what am I saying? If a person has to go to the extreme, that means, hey, you better have a file cabinet, and what's the law about how long you got to retain them kind of files? Well, it used to be 3 years, I heard now it's 5. You better keep that stuff, otherwise somebody can come back to get you, you know. And I hate when I forget. I be changing subject matters at a moment's notice because I don't be wanting to forget. Now I just forgot. And so I was saying, hey, you know, I don't remember. Again, I know I was trying to study something about the license, or, you know, something. I've been trying to do that for a while, and I keep seeing like the most crazy stuff. What I'm saying is, I know what I was going to say. YouTube as an example of a platform in which a person gets to share, you know, their content. Is being streamlined. The other day on the live stream, I talked about how, you know, our social constructs are being streamlined. Education is being streamlined. Everything's being streamlined, including platforms such as YouTube. And how is it being streamlined? Well, other than sitting up, hold on, it's being streamlined because when we sitting up talking, you can't talk about certain things. You can't, you know, it's this whole list. I wish I could pull it up. I'm going to talk about it. They're going to get mad. It asks, hey, is there any profanity in this video? You got to check it off. You know, it's like a self-analysis of each of the content you plan on releasing. You can't even monetize any content right off. It's like a delay until their Autobots or whatever you call it kind of scan your content to see if it is offensive to what sexuality, creed, culture, etc. Is it, what's that thing they just got through going through and it's the cool down now? Is it anti-Semitic? You know, is it offensive? Is it offensive to the gay community? I mean, they asking these type of questions, so you can't say nothing about a Jewish person. Don't say nothing about a person that is engaged in some type of alternative sexual lifestyle or whatever. Don't say anything about it. Don't say anything about it. Then it asks, are you talking about violence or something that'll make somebody feel uncomfortable, like rape or something? Don't talk about nothing like that in no form or fashion. So what I'm saying is being streamlined. It's being streamlined. Then it asks, is you talking about anything like 9/11 or something like that? That might not be exactly what it say. I'm just offering examples, but I'm not too far from it. Or what? Oh, are you talking about anything that's transpiring now about this pandemic? Are you talking about anything like that? You know, because you might not be monetizable. You know, if you mention anything about that, or none of the above. No, or none of the above. Are you child friendly? Are you for children? Do you have anything in your background that kids might be, enticed by to come watch your video, and they, just by chance hear something that their little ears aren't ready to hear, or see something that their little eyes aren't ready to see? But they shouldn't see that anyway, because you better not do nothing off that list, otherwise you ain't gonna get monetized. See, we need to keep our eyes open. There's a whole bunch going on, and there's so much going on, and it's so many layers to it, and it's complex because we're talking about a big corporation. Google might kick me off, YouTube might kick me off. Okay, I love them, but something ain't right. Now I understand that they have an obligation to protect the public, but where does it stop? Where does it stop? Where does it stop? A lot of people, at least were on YouTube. I'm fairly new, but they're just people like myself, just common general people that don't have a legal education, haven't developed the ability to comprehend all of that legal stuff, in order to make sure they're complying with the conditions, the regulations. Some of it is streamlined. What am I fussing all about that for? Where am I trying to go with that before I forget? It's that by the time all of these things are implemented at the same time, their YouTube won't be YouTube no more. None of the platforms will be what they are today. Pay attention. The people that were in Hollywood, or Hollyweird as some folks say it, they're now here on these different social media platforms. They got their little following and stuff. See, they have been cultivated to understand the legal stuff. As a matter of fact, they got people that's there for them to help them understand the legal stuff. Actually, to read the legal stuff, they don't have to do the legal stuff. All they got to do is sit up and do their commentary, whatever they talking about. It's somebody else reading it. But somebody like me, I'm going to have to read the legal stuff, understand it, comprehend it, obey it. I'm going to have to create my own imagery to entertain you. I'm going to have to watch what I say. I better not talk about no death, no rape, no alternate sexual preferences or practices, nothing. Not the pandemic. Don't talk about nothing. Otherwise, somewhere along the way, I could be held legally accountable. That's what I'm seeing happening. That's what I'm seeing happening. But who am I? Again, my comprehension level is down. Something going on. Rather than me getting better and wiser, it seems like I'm forgetting, or I can't see clear, or I'm not comprehending, or knowing me, it's all true what I'm seeing, and I'm becoming overwhelmed. You know, I understand that, like me, I always tell y'all I'm Aquarius. I'm raised by Saturn, reared by Saturn. I know it ain't no shortcuts. It's hard work, been there, done that. Here it goes, is the case. Here it goes again. But this hard work, I'm gonna say, because of so many layers, could you imagine having to be a expert on every single level, every single layer, having to be an expert, having to be an expert. That's what I'm saying. YouTube, as an example, is being streamlined. People gonna be falling off because you gotta be an expert. You gotta, like, oh, if I understand it, see, I start running my mouth, but I have some pages open. Oh, dog, shut up. But I can't show them to y'all. I can't show them to y'all because I ain't show about this licensing stuff. And it also includes Wikipedia. Go, who is it?
Scrappy.
Huh? Who is that?
Rant.
Want me?
No.
Oh. So when I'm researching this CC, which is the Creative Commons license and others similar to it, I go past another license, and that license include Wikipedia. Anyway, I'm tracing the line, following the line of thought, getting the definitions, going back and forth. Tell me why I ended up where it says CERN, CERN. I gotta get back there. Because CERN is a big thing. I heard CERN mentioned here on YouTube quite a few times. A lot of people cover CERN. But it talk about a license for CERN under the free creative. I'm telling you, this stuff getting creepy for real. Okay. I got to remember the line of thought I follow. I'm going to follow it. A Creative Commons license is one of the, several cover, how far did I read down, Creative Commons, U.S. nonprofit, I remember reading that. Open Knowledge Foundation, open definition. Y'all, I'm just scanning. I remember I read consequences, work license under a Creative Commons license is governed by applicable copyright laws. I remember reading that. This allows Creative Commons license to be applied to all work following under copyright, including books, plays, movies, music, articles, photographies, blogs, and websites. Remember I told y'all when I did that video about the life of Christ in artwork, well, that's photography, because a photographer went over to wherever they went, to Italy, to Rome, wherever, and took these pictures. And so their pictures of this work was covered under some type of copyright. And that was for the professional as well as the amateur traveler. Certain people really cover themselves. Websites, etc., etc. I'm reading for because I'm trying to find something that just like blew my mind, and it had to do with CERN. And it's the stuff we don't know. It's the stuff we don't know. It's no way. This is what irritates me. It is no way in hell or heaven that a person can keep track of the changes that are taking place in our realm. Talking about the rules, the regulations, the policies. No way. There's no way. In order to make sure that these powers that be and these corporations don't manipulate the rules and regulations and policies in their favors. No way. Not one person can do it. And so they keep us all split, separated from each other, bickering with each other, so that we don't network in order to keep our eyes on them. We've been following. Like I said, now is the time to make our move. Anyway, while software is also governed by copyright law, listen, software is governed by copyright law, and CC license are applicable. The Creative Commons recommend free and open source software license And so I do believe I highlighted that to understand what that was. And I'm going to tell y'all something. If things keep going the way they are, and if I'm the smidget bit correct about what I'm perceiving right now, it's going to be a time that I can't sit up here. A person won't be able to sit up here on the internet and read anything off to the viewer. Instead of Creative Commons license. Okay. So what was I just saying? Remember, I was saying I'm the kind of person, due to my limited comprehension, that I have to read real slow. I have to back up. I had to read one sentence at a time. I got to look up the definition of words. Then I got to throw the definition in place of the word I don't know. I got to learn how to pronounce the word. So it'll take me forever. But what I just think I read, it said that the software is covered under the CC Common license. However, the free and open source software license instead of the Creative Commons. So what it's saying software is covered under the Creative Commons license. It is, but it's recommended, because of software, that it be protected or covered under free and open source software license. So that suggests possibly that there's two licenses that a person will have to comply with to use that software, access that software, whatever. So I'm going to keep going down, because y'all know I'm trying to get to something, because I'm trying to get to that CERN information. Because it has something in this what the CERN, where I found the CERN information is some additional information that I want to read to you. Because, hey, you might not be a YouTube creator or some type of social media creator, but you might have something going on, which is you are a creative person creating something. So outside the false licensing use case for software, there are several usage examples. I'm going to go past that. I read that. Software into public domain. Fair use. Was it fair use that I clicked on? Fair use is a doctrine in the law of the United States that permits limited use of copyrighted material without having to first acquire permission from the copyright holder. Fair use is one of the limitations to copyright intended to balance the interests of copyright holders with the public interest in the wider distribution. Fair use. Okay. I think that's where it was. I think that was preconditions. I didn't go down that far. Okay. I'm going to click fair use and see if it takes me where I need to be. Fair use. Let's see. Intellectual property. Fair use is a doctrine in the law of the United States that, I think that's what it requires permission of copyright holder. Fair use is one of the limitations of copyright intended to balance the interests of copyright holders with the public's interest in the wider distribution and use of creative works by allowing as a defense to copyright infringement. This is a defense to copyright infringement claims certain limited uses that might otherwise be considered infringement, like fair dealing. What is fair dealing then? I didn't read that. Fair dealing is a limitation and exception to the exclusive right granted by copyright law to the author of a creative work. Fair dealing is found in many of the common law jurisdictions of the Commonwealth of Nations. You know how to comprehend that, right, y'all? You know that, right? See, the reason why attorneys get paid so much is because they specialize in a particular field, area of law. Which is, say, George, they are trying to lower the age of consent to 12 years old in California. What the hell is going on? Our black kids are going to be in trouble. Like I told you the other day in the live, you wasn't there here yesterday when I was live. It's that I realize it's a direct attack on the kids. Like I said, they want them to be ignorant. I mean, like literally dumbed down. Why? Because this is what they're going to be facing. I can barely do it, and I do have associate slash bachelor's. Remember, I'm five. I don't know how to say that. I'm 5 classes away from a bachelor's. I told you I bailed out because of foreign language. So, okay, once I got a bachelor's. I got a bachelor's. So I got a bachelor's, so I can kind of deal with this a little bit, but I mean barely. But if we talking about a whole generation, or it's more than just generations, but we're gonna say for the youth, because it's already started with I'll say 30 and under. 30 and under is not all 30s. It begins to, it's a cascade in effect. Some 30s have some of the benefits and blessings and privileges of, the generation before them that were, might have been blessed. But they also got the curses of the drugs and the, alcohol, or being or parents being a workaholic, and, the negatives, the ills associated with that. So it's varying degrees of use, and anywho, down to the babies born now. If they're not taught to even be able to write or compose sentences, if you can't compose a sentence, you can't read this. You don't know where to break it down. Well, not this, but legal documents. You don't know where to start and end in order to comprehend. Look, the computer did what it won't do. I ain't touching nothing. My arm got it to do it. The comprehend. You don't know where to start or to end. And I heard something about that, George, too. Something about, I don't know if you're talking about the same thing that I heard, but I heard something about prostitution. See, I can't say that word. They gonna stop my video. And if y'all don't never see me again, YouTube put me off for inappropriate content because I use words. I use a word. What is this, homie? It's always something. I always do something. And if that, what I heard today about young women, young ladies, basically being trained very young to go, to turn to the world's oldest profession, as has been said. It is because, I asked yesterday, how these youths gonna make their money? See, all of this is being prepared. All of this is intentional. All of this is intentional. Because what I'm saying, like, even now, I don't know, it's impossible for me to know who all the creators are across this platform. But I'm willing to bet there's a large percentage of creators here on YouTube that cannot read and comprehend legal terms, which means that those people, including myself, is going to do something to offend this platform, or not comply with the requirements or the restrictions, not require comply with the restrictions. And so that would be means for this platform, the governors of this platform, whomever they are, to put a person off of this platform. And because offense is so great, like certain terms, talking about certain subject matters, using images, even a child's drawing, you've offended. Maybe 3 strikes you're out. Maybe the first one, depending on what it is. You off the platform. Streamlining it. Who'll be left on platforms such as this? Now that Fox 2, 4, 7, 20, 50, or whatever channels you got going on are done with. Because a lot of folks not watching TV no more. The majority of the folks just watching basic TV are older folks, the seniors. That's what they grew up with. You know what I'm saying? This stuff right here is futuristic to them. It's a headache, like this legal stuff is to me. So now, the people that we grew up maybe watching, if you're my age, grew up watching TV, y'all, them or the next generation of casters or whatever they call newscasters are on the platforms, on the internet, on your Facebook. I see the governor. As soon as I get on my Facebook, I see the governor talking about the quarantine. I see my police chief talking about whatever events. They on Facebook, not on the news. I mean, they probably being, you know, what they call it, broadcasted on the news too, but it's on Facebook. I find it here on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So that's who they are, and people been saying it. But look how deep it's going. Look how they setting us up to be put off of here so that they can have this platform. And the general public, we're going to tune in. We're going to tune into these platforms and watch them. The forecasters, broadcasters, news anchors, or whatever. Why? Because we want to know what's going on the other side of the world and around the block. If we don't, we're going to be shut off from each other. Period. Flat out. Period. So, it makes sense to me why YouTube got all the sponsors, and they said last year, the year before, that they wasn't, you know, going to monetize everything folks put up on here, you know, because the what they call it, the sponsors or whatever they call, you know, don't agree with some of the content. You know, that was the excuse they gave. No, the reality is they just wanted to see how the platform was going to run, how it was going to work, you know, how people, you know, how successful would people too, how people would make the transition from traditional TV over to using the internet and stuff. And they see it work. So, okay, now get rid of the founders, the forerunners. Get rid of the forerunners, the common people that's sharing from every aspect of the world, every perspective. Remember, the consciousness of divinity divided all over the world. Get them off and put the TV anchors back on these platforms. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, I was supposed to be finding this stuff about CERN because, oh shoot, it was tripped out. Okay, I'm about to go back here. So I clicked on, I'm still on Wikipedia. Y'all can't see it. Why? Because I don't know what's going on with the license until I get it understanding. I can't show and tell no more. You say also they're not teaching handwriting anymore. I've heard now they won't believe read the Constitution or the Bill of Rights. They won't even be able to, heck, you know, won't be able to read the Constitution or the Bill of Rights. They're not going to be able to do anything. I'm not being funny. The younger generation was targeted. We really missed it. We really missed it. They have been targeted because they have a sense of entitlement. They are the natural born narcissists. I can talk about the 30-something and down, the older youth. They are narcissists. And we created them, but we were socially engineered to create them. How? I talked about that. How we bought them $200-$300 shoes, pants, jeans. They was able to go to the mall every weekend, turned up, proms, biggest weddings. I mean, narcissists. So they think they know everything. You can't tell them nothing. They live the lives of kings and queens, even the broke ones. And the ones that didn't have and couldn't get it, you know, the legitimate way, a lot of them became the violent ones that was, I can't talk about certain things, but they was going to get it one way or another. No bars hold. That's the reality of it. And so you can't tell them nothing. Because they got $200-$300 shoes on, you can't tell them nothing. Spirituality wasn't promoted. So they don't know nothing about their soul per se. They don't care. But they care about $200-$300 shoes. And I can't talk about certain things because it is not appropriate for this platform. But the reason why we were manipulated into helping to social engineer our youth into not, and I done did this before. I'm probably gonna freeze my computer up because it's been Why did I stop talking? Because I'm going to the Bible, y'all. You know, I'm not trying to convert you, but I always refer back to what I learned, because now I can comprehend that. How much longer will it take me to be able to comprehend what I need to be able to comprehend to, get on top of this? Anyway, I'm about to read what, and I've read it before in other videos. But it's Luke. I think it's 12. Why is the thing not letting me do it? Okay. I think it's Luke chapter 12, verse 52. It says, from now on, 5 in one household will be divided. Oh, there it goes, moved. Nah, it's down where I don't want. They don't want me to read it now. Come on now. Because I'm going to find that sermon and then I'm going to get up off here. It says, from now on, 5 in one household will be divided. 3 against 2, and 2 against 3. They will be divided. Father against son, and son against father. Mother against daughter, and daughter against detected issue detected. From now on, 5 in one house will be divided. 3 against 2, 2 against 3. They will be divided. Father against son, and son against father. Mother against daughter, and daughter against mother. Mother-in-law against daughter-in-law, and daughter-in-law against mother-in-law. Wow. I don't remember that one, but that's basically, it said they will be, what is it? Let's see. In 2 Timothy's chapter 3, verses 1 through 3, it says, but understand this, in the last days horrible times will come, for men will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, boastful, arrogant, abusive, disobedient to their parents, ungrateful, unholy, unloving, unforgiving, slanderous, without self-control, brutal, without love of good. Why did I stop to read those two scriptures? It's because a lot of the youth display these character traits. Why? Because the parents and the grandparents were manipulated into helping socially engineer these type of beings. Period. These type of people. And it's a lot of our young people that are, again, have these character traits. And the reason why these character traits, why was it necessary for the powers that be and have been to make sure that this particular generation displayed these negative character traits or behaviors? It is so that they would reject the seniors, the wise, so they couldn't be discerning, so that they couldn't hear. Somewhere else in the Bible says something about having your heart, about the Pharaoh's heart being hard, and about having a hard head or something like that. So that would happen. I don't know who wrote this Bible. I mean, I got an idea, and I'm gonna sum it up one day. But the powers that be, this is their guidebook. They told us what was going to go on, but we couldn't discern. We couldn't comprehend what we were reading. We couldn't comprehend. We did not comprehend what we was reading. And it was necessary for the powers that be at a particular time in the final days, which is now, to make sure that the youth would not hear us say, no, stop, we see now. We the first generation we educated enough to be able to read, to comprehend, to discern, and oh man, hold on, stop. They have no respect for us, no love for us to stop and to listen. They know it all, period. But yet, they know nothing. But you can't tell them that. And the powers that be know they don't know nothing and setting up many traps for them to help them fall into either ignorance or another word I can't say because it's not appropriate for this platform. So, anywho, I'm lost. Where am I at? Because I'm cussing and fussing. I'm cussing and fussing. I don't even know if I'm still live. Oh, God. Am I still live, y'all? I don't even know. I'm just cussing and fussing. Anywho, still looking for this. I'm gonna find this because I've been on here an hour and 46 minutes. When I get the talking and cussing and fussing, this is an Aquarius rant. You know that's what I do. So I didn't go. Lamau called my loss. Fear did not limitations to copyrights. No, couldn't have been that. Come on, I need that. Fair use. I clicked on that. Trademark law, no. Fair access policy, no. Is it free, non-free content? Did I click on that? Non-free content. I don't remember all that. And I can't see either. Hold on, because I got this board little, y'all. I got this board so little trying to fit everything. I'm about to back all the way up. Oh, shoot, I backed up too far. I'm weird like that. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about y'all. Public copyright license. What did I click on? I said I should have wrote it down. U.S. nonprofit. Now I clicked on nonprofit and read that in relationship to licensing. Open Knowledge Foundation is a global nonprofit network that promotes, shares information at no charge, including both content and data. It was founded by Rufus Pollock on the 20th of May in 2004 and launched on the 24th of May 2004 in Cambridge, UK. It is incorporated in England and Wales. I have to come back to read that. Open definition. Is that the open definition is a document published by the Open Knowledge Foundation to define openness in relation to data and content. It specifies what license for such material may or may not stipulate in order to be considered open license. The definition itself was derived from open source. Applicable works, software. See, I remember going past that. Free and open source. FOSS is a software. Okay, I remember doing that. I read that. Software into public domain. Free Software Foundation. I remember. I could swear. Okay, I remember. Okay, let me see. Okay, this is the part that I printed out. Okay. Software. Oh my gosh. Creative Commons jurisdiction supporting rights and obligations. And I can't believe this. Non-commercial license. Every single time I do a live stream, I'm not prepared. Since I start writing a lot of notes, I really can't keep up. Adaptability. I really can't keep up with what I want to share. Right now, I was trying to get back to the CERN stuff because CERN Now I don't know a lot about CERN. I just heard some stuff about CERN, and CERN is somewhere in the mountains in some other country. I'm in the United States, and is we say acres and acres, or a town is a science invention, and it bring two molecules or something together to boom, and they trying to recreate the Big Bang or something like that. I don't know, but it sound good. And so I need to get back there, and I'm going to get back there, even if I don't get back there while I'm live, because when I was following these licenses, rules, and regulations, moving from one aspect of it to the other, I came across a particular license. I don't want to say nothing wrong. I probably said a whole lot wrong. And that particular license covered CERN. And that same license that covered CERN also covered it was DIY, do it yourself, and the reason why this license covered CERN, so I need to go back and make sure it's that CERN that I was just rambling on about, is because it said that the reason why CERN whatever is under this particular license that covers DIY, do it yourself, is because any person basically can make it. Meaning that I, can't go remake CERN out here if I so choose to do so. You know what I'm saying? Even though I know I ain't got all the materials. But they're saying that if you had the money, the resources, the materials, you can go out here and make CERN yourself. It's just that simple. But, I might have been reading that wrong. I got so excited that I said I gotta make a video because something really going on. It's way over my head. I'm gonna tell y'all, it's way over my head. And so I referred back to when I was following the stars and the voices that I heard telling me stuff to say, hey, life existence is calling upon the people to advance themselves, to evolve themselves, to become more intellectually astute, to dive off into one of the branches of knowledge. We talked about the different branches of knowledge. We talked about it in different ways. Everything from that being the tree of life and death, the tree of knowledge, or the tree of life and death, whatever that is in the Bible, and how the time has come, and it's been here for a while. We did videos about it during that time period, for people to get that education, to dive off into something and become professional or proficient. On a mundane level, you better learn how to plant a garden. You better learn how to jar and can and make water, clean water, fix a car. You better learn how to do something and become very proficient at it. And then for those that are professionals, it's saying, hey, at this point in time, you're being called to the forefront to execute your abilities on behalf of the people that resonate with you. And since that time, not enough people have rose to the occasion to represent the people, or at least the 99%. It's all the professionals that's on the one side. I know I'm all over the place. It's an Aquarius rant. I'm rambling. Ask you to ride the wave with me. I see so much stuff going on here. Like when I talked about that, I'm all over the place. When I talked about that Henry Ford and his gathering, his guest list, and the affluent people that attended his banquet, it was over 262 people, all at least borderline geniuses in one room. And then it was the rest of us, or rest of them, our grandparents and ancestors that existed then. Them people was setting them up then. They was setting us up back during the 1930s. We here in 2020, going in 2021. They was setting us up in the 1930s and even before that. So here we are right now, and people have been socially engineered to be self-destructive. So Who else has been socially engineered to be self-destructive or unproductive? Actually, it is the people out of the 98 to 99%, the general populace, that have achieved a level of intelligence and accolades and credentials and certifications and degrees in the various fields that exist, and have worked in the various constructs. They've been socially engineered to be destructive, self-destructive, indirectly self-destructive. Why is it? Because they're not standing up for people that are really on their level. They not. People are afraid to stand up for righteousness. You ain't got to stand up for me, but stand up for righteousness. So what am I saying? I'm saying attorneys ain't going to come out and say it's wrong, that whatever's wrong, and forge together, come together and go up against something that's unjust and it's not righteous. They're not going to do it. Why? They don't want to mess up their job because they working for somebody that they under, or they just don't want to mess up. Don't nobody want no problems. But see, that's social engineering. They got them scared. Yeah, they got more money. They have more trips. They may drive better cars. That Mercedes, that Benz, that Lexus, whatever. Had a nice house in the suburbs with the big old windows where the blinds ain't never closed. But the true reality is, them people scared. They scared to lose their income by standing up and the system come down and crush them. Remember, they work up close and personal with the system at some point in time. They know what the system will do. They've seen it. So, the only way that the 98 and 99%, 99% of the population can combat the powers that exist now and the influence of the powers that existed in the past is if those people that have those accolades and degrees go ahead and come together. Period. That's the only way. And then the people, us, hey, we better learn how to do something. I don't know what we gonna do. I told you I tried to plant a garden and all I got was foxtails. And had to pull the whole thing up. You see where the economy is. You see, I can't talk about some stuff because it's not appropriate for this platform. So, I got to be careful. I really feel like, based on everything that I'm seeing, the clock is ticking down. Either you're going to stand or you're going to fall with the rest of us. Because you're not okay. They have just been using you to, when I say you, I'm talking about the people with the accolades and the degrees and things. They've just been using you to help build them up, to sustain them, to help them get their job done, as well as helping you suppress what maybe they deem as the little man. But once they've achieved what they want, you too will fall. That's what changed. And actually, you're experiencing it now. That's the real messed up part. You're experiencing it now. This is probably the first time a lot of y'all really experienced. First, it was the government shutdown. And all them government employees, all them, what they call it, mandatory workers and stuff, and having to work with no pay. That's when they was traumatized. They don't want to see that no more. But some folks still, lived a good life, was able to earn, But now, it's y'all turn. Y'all back, truly, y'all back is against the wall. I know you got to be feeling it. Like, I always talk about the law. And I look around, just in my location, at all the law firms and all the lawyers that exist, that I can, pick up on. That's a highly competitive market, don't you think? That's a real competitive market. And attorneys are all over the world, all wanting to sustain a particular quality of life, a particular lifestyle, have a particular quality of life. It's a highly competitive market. I know y'all got to be feeling it. Been feeling it. Been under the stress. Y'all play cool. Y'all be dressed real nice. But you got to be cool than the mother sucker. Because getting that clientele if you ain't under no big firm. Woo, Got to be picking needles I like out of what they say, a needle out of a haystack. Something like that. Anyway, I'm gonna let it go because I can't follow the line of thought, the line of information. To get back to that CERN stuff, I just can't believe myself. Free culture work, was that it? Is that what I clicked on? Free culture, free content. Did I click on that? Nope, I don't remember that face. Let me go open content project. Oh, the dog barking getting on my nerves. License project. I'm gonna have to start writing notes again. I got to, cause I cannot. I wanna. CERN is. I'm gonna say CERN is licensed under just let's see. Is that it? Open hardware license. Open hardware license. The CERN Open Hardware License, OHL, or CERN OHL, is a license used in open source hardware projects. It was created by CERN, which published version 1.0 in March 2011. Version 1.1 was published in July 2011. CERN update. Dang, what was the name of that? It was, oh, let me put it, what if I put DIU in the search? Big Clown Open Source Electronic with your DIY home automated projects. DIY particle detector. Testing on CERN updated to open. Y'all was attempting to access that information another way. It was on Wikipedia. Let's see. Just one more try. Open source hardware. I kind of remember that, but I don't know. You know, please like, share, and if you haven't already, subscribe. What I notice is that my viewership is getting lower and lower and lower. I watch people click on my video and click right back off. And then when I get off of here, like now, it's only showed that I had, thus far I could see like 2 or 3 concurrent viewers out of a maximum of 7. When I get off of here, it show a maximum of 20, 25 views. As long as I stay on here, please. Open source hardware consists of physical artifacts of technology. This is why I was here. What am I doing now? I went to Wikipedia, following CERN, still dealing with the licensing, and I'm about to read. Open source hardware, or OSH, consists of physical artifacts of technology. Physical artifacts. I think I know what an artifact is. An artifact is one of many kinds of tangible byproducts, meaning leftover. It's broke up, the ruins, falling apart satellites, the pieces left behind, the ruins, produced during the development of software. An artifact is one of many kinds of tangible byproducts produced during the development of software. Some artifacts help describe the function, architecture, and design of software. Other artifacts are concerned with the process of development itself, such as project plans, business cases, and risk assessments. Those are artifacts. So, open source hardware consists of physical artifacts of technology designed and offered by the open design movement. Open design movement. That was another thing. What's the open design movement? The open design movement inducts machines and systems through use of publicly shared design information. This includes the making of both free and open source software or FOSS, as well as open source hardware. The process is generally, anyway, I'm just hovering over for a little bit of information. Now I want to freeze up and not release it. Let's see. We won't release it. Okay, both free and open software FOSS. Maker movement. Was it maker movement? That's what it is. After this, y'all, I'ma let it go. I'm locked in. It's done. It froze on me. I'm reading they stuff on Wikipedia. If you don't get your little devilish stuff down, get out. I guess I'm done. Oh, okay. I don't even know if I'm live. I don't want to lose it. I got what I need. All right. How do I see if I'm still live? I don't know if I'm still live or not. Let's see. I don't know. Nancy, in some places of the country, it's illegal to have a garden or collect rainwater. Yes, I've heard that. They are setting us up to be like movie THX 1183. I ain't never seen that. Check that film out. Oh, I will. I definitely will. That's crazy. Uh-oh. I don't know. Okay, I'm assume I'm still live, and I'm going into this final thought because I've been cussing and fussing for almost 2 hours. And I was where? Free cultural. Nope, I wasn't there. Don't close nothing up, Nancy. Find where the little box is at. Where your box at? Is this it? No. I know. No. What happened? No. Y'all give me a minute. This thing doing what it want to do. Okay. I just said it. It was maker movement. It was maker movement. Y'all effed up. Y'all let me find what I wanted to find. Okay, I'm gonna let the Creative Commons go. Just make sure. I'm gonna close it. I'm gonna close that. Okay. It's okay. Consider. Okay. I no problem. Okay. I'm gonna close that. I'm gonna close that. Right here. Open source. Open source, and where was I at? I did maker movement. Where I'm at, I'm back at Wikipedia, and I'm following a line of information to get back to the CERN. And right now, still coming from Creative Commons license, following the line of information. I'm only following it. This is the crazy part, y'all. I'm only following it down one little thin, narrow path that goes to its own unique destination. And there are so many other numerous paths to go down, just coming from the subject matter of of the CC, or the Creative Commons license. So many other paths to travel. It gets so broad. And that's why I was going to say, now that I got it, I can say this because I got what I need to follow now. That's why attorneys do get paid so much. Because remember when we looked at the different branches of knowledge, one of the branches of knowledge we looked at were academic disciplines was law. When we look at the academic field of law, we saw that there were so many different branches of law or subcategories of law that's why people like be experts in, and you have to retain an attorney that is an expert in a particular field of law, area of law, such as tax attorney or divorce lawyer or tax, attorney, or something like that, or a what is this? License or copyright attorney. See, this corporation has those people. They have a staff of people. A single creator like myself, I don't have no staff, and I'm separate basically from the other creators. Young Pharaoh, he got enough bigger following, and he got going on what he got going on, I assume, and it's like that he can retain an attorney that is an expert in whatever his claim is against YouTube. But a person like me, either I do it myself or I'm out. I'm either out because I get frustrated and I'm tired, or I get out because I've been violated one of their restrictions, one of their regulations. So anyway, now I'm following that line of information, and I started with just seeking to understand what a common creative licensing is, and I done went through this different line of information. Now I'm on open source hardware. How did I get there? Because it started talking about a license at some point in time, and some of the reading I was doing that had to do with open source hardware. Once I'm on the page on Wikipedia that covers open source hardware, then I start reading, then I see this called what? It says that I'm just gonna read the sentence that caught my attention, and it was a term that caught my attention. It says the term usually means that information about the hardware is easily discerned so that others can make it, coupling it closely to the maker movement. What am I talking about? Well, I'm reading the sentence before. It is sometimes thus referred to as false. Capital F-O-S-H. Ain't this boring? Oh, but in order not to offend this platform and this corporation, I must understand what I'm dealing with. Anywho, that false or F-O-S-H is free and open source hardware. Free and source open hardware. Do any of you know what free and open source hardware really is? Do you really know? Anyway, remember this. The sentence goes on and say the term usually means the information about the hardware, whatever the information is about that hardware, about particular hardwares, is easily discerned. You can easily discern the information about this hardware so that others can make it. That means you can make it too. If you can discern, the information is so easy to discern, to identify, to comprehend, that you can make it too. Coupling it, meaning that ability to make it on your own, coupling it closely to the maker movement. The maker movement. Have you ever heard of the maker movement? I never heard of the maker movement to today. So I was like, well, what's the maker movement? And so I clicked on the maker movement, and I see a picture still on Wikipedia of a big billboard. Maker culture. The maker culture is a contemporary culture or subculture representing a technology-based extension of DIY culture. Hover over DIY culture. I think I know what it is, but I'm hovering over it to see what Wikipedia says it is. Okay. DIY ethic is the ethic of self-sufficiency through completing tasks without the aid of a paid expert, like an attorney. The do-it-yourself DIY ethic promotes the idea that everyone is capable of performing a variety of tasks rather than relying on a paid specialist. What am I talking about? Well, hell, I came on Wikipedia seeking to understand what all of these Creative Commons licenses are and with commercial licensing is why. Because I just wanted to use an image off of Google to put up here for y'all, to entertain y'all, to make my background a little more exciting, a little more inviting, a little more fun, something you can look at when you get tired of hearing my mouth run. But found out that I couldn't access free images, images without strings attached. What kind of strings? Having to cite it, point out, know exactly what license that particular image is under, and having to cite that too. Nope. So I came on here. When I'm reading all these words, some particular terms stand out to me, like, man, what is that doing here? And when I'm click on those terms, I'm like wondering what they doing there. This is where it led me to the make it culture, the DIY culture. And what is that connected with? Going back to the Wikipedia page I was on before this one, it's talking about hardware that's been making, and how the hardware is so easy and the information is so discernible. You can make it too. So right now I'm still going through. I gotta keep going. Please, Lord, let me find it, and then I'll be done. Please like, share, and if you haven't already, subscribe. Now, so I'm talking about the DIY culture, technology-based extensions of DIY culture that intersects with hacker culture, which is less concerned with physical objects as it focuses on software, and reveals in the creation of new devices as well as tinkering with existing ones. That goes deep, because it's been said that there's nothing new under the sun, and all you can do right now is just like enhance something that's already made. Okay. Anyway, the maker culture is general. The maker culture in general supports open source hardware. Is that it? Is that it? Please be it. Is that it? I'm scared to click. I'm gonna click. Open source hardware. Is this it? Or is that what I came from? Don't get lost. How far did I read and what did I click on? I guess that was it then. Okay. I'm still trying to get to that CERN stuff, because it's like blew me away. I want to know about this CERN stuff. Okay, that one. Okay, must have went down further. Let's see. The maker culture is general support open source hardware. Typical interests enjoyed by the maker culture include engineering oriented pursuits such as electronics, robotics, 3D printing, and the use of computer numeric control tools, as well as more traditional activities such as metalworking. Well, everything got to have a body on the outside of it. So there's a field young kids can go into, metalworking, because they got to be able to make the bodies and containers to these different AIs. Woodworking, I want to see that, and mainly I guess you got to do woodworking, because usually woodworking come before any metalworking or casting, because I did some of that too. So you do the woodwork and create a cast over it. Either you mold, you cast it as a mold within something. But wood is it? Yeah, I guess you can't get rid of that field of work. And mainly it's predecessor, traditionally arts and crafts. The subculture stresses a cut and paste approach to standardized hobbyist technologies. What are we talking about? I'm talking about the maker culture, the DIY movement. This culture. It says the subculture stresses a cut and paste approach to standardized hobbyist technologies. Like me trying to cut and paste and put some images over there. I'm stressing over it. And encourages cookbook reuse of designs. That's what I was trying to do, reuse some designs. That was here free on the Google. Published on websites and maker-oriented publications. There is a strong focus on using and learning practical skills and applying them to reference designs. There is also growing work on equality and the maker culture. Okay, now, where did that... I thought I had that CERN. I don't remember going down this far. Makerspace. Maybe I must have backed up. I thought I was on my way. Guess I wasn't on my way. Okay. There's a DUI culture. No. Culture, subculture. Nope, I wouldn't have did that. Hacker culture. What if I did the hacker culture? I don't think so. I think I would have just assumed that I knew exactly what the hacker culture was. But I'm looking hacker culture, subculture. Nope, that wasn't it. I thought I was on my way to the CERN. Got hold, Johnny. Lord have mercy. What did I do? Hashtag on it. Party drivers free and open source. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to just let it go, because I end up getting stressed out. Too old to be staying up all night now. Y'all, some stuff going on here. Okay. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. I know this is not where I was at, but it's mentioning CERN. So it says I'm still on Wikipedia. I'm under the subject matter of open source hardware. Got to open source hardware because I was trying to understand about the licensing. And it says in July 2011, CERN, capital C, capital E, capital R, capital N, European Organization for Nuclear Research. So CERN, I guess an abbreviation for European Organization for Nuclear Research. I'm hovering over that, and it says, and I can't show y'all this because I might get in trouble, because I think I might need a license, or not a license, but I always cite Wikipedia. I don't do it in a professional manner, just loosely. I don't think that's the right way now. At least since September 3rd, I get the feeling, but I don't know. Anywho. The European Organization for Nuclear Research, known as CERN, is a European research organization that operates the largest particle physics, I'm going to tell you about physics laboratory in the world. Established in 1954. Wow, I didn't know it been out that long. In 1954, that is 66 years? Is that right? Something like that. Established in 1954, the organization is based in a northwest suburb of Geneva on the Franco-Swiss border, and has 23 members. Okay, anyway, I'm on the CERN. I'm going to read the CERN. So on July 2011, CERN. Reason why am I reading this about CERN? Why has this thrown up a red flag, at least for me? It's something about licensing. And the first time I seen this, I had followed another line of information and got to CERN. And it came through the DIY, do it yourself, or the maker movement. So, okay. In July 2011, CERN released an open source hardware license. So CERN released an open source hardware license. So I got to go back. See, this is the problem I have. I ain't take no notes. I just read some, just a little bit, just the opening of what an open source hardware license is. Now, if I go back, because now I know I need to know what an open hardware source license is, or I open up another window so I can remember what open source hardware license is, to be able to come back here and say this is what CERN did and why they did it, then that's when I get lost. So I ain't doing it. So I've discovered that in July of 2011, CERN released an open source hardware license. CERN OHL. That's the hardware license. Java Serrano, an engineer at CERN's Beams department, a department in CERN, and the founder of the Open Hardware Repository. Term I don't know. I done heard the word, used the word, but I can't recall what the word is. So my computer allows me to find out what this word is. I'm going to search it. Repository. What is it? This is trying to see what's going on for a slow person, myself. Let's see. Repository. Hopefully I don't get in trouble for that. Repository. What is it? As a noun, it's a place, a building, or receptacle where things are or may be stored. A place in which something, especially a natural resource, has accumulated or where it is found in significant quantities. A central location in which data is stored or managed. Going back to my reading, talking about CERN, it says this Serrano, this engineer at CERN in the Beams department, at CERN's Beams department, force in the Beams department, and the founder of the Open Hardware Repository. So a storage, over the storage of whatever open hardware it is. But remember, open hardware suggests that, if I recall, me and you supposed to be able to do it if we had the information. And see, I forget. Memory ain't going bad. Something going on. By sharing, I think it's just too much stuff going on. Remember, I'm one person and I'm studying a whole lot of stuff and been studying a whole lot of stuff for many years and having to deal with my own life and battles. Where these people, all, like for instance, this character here, Serrano, he's an engineer at CERN in a particular department. And he do what? He the founder of, don't mean he running it, but the founder of the repository. What does he really do? Whatever he does, I'm sure it's just one thing he gets to focus on, other than his personal life. And it might not have much of that. Anyway, by sharing designs openly. See, that was one of the key features to that. What was it? See how I forget? Because that was one of the key things to say, hey, the instructions to this whatever it was, hardware was so discerning that anybody could make it. So it's saying here, hey, by sharing designs openly, it's open. It's very accessible. CERN expert expects to improve the quality of designs through peer review. Meaning other people looking at it. Other people trickling with it. Peer review, because the only way you can review something if you got exposure to it, hands on. Okay, so that's why the design is open by sharing designs openly so that the peers, people that are in his field, in their line of field, or some interdisciplinary field that understands what's going on, can review it, and to guarantee their users, including commercial companies, the freedom to study, modify, and manufacture them. Makes sense. It makes sense. Cause here, that's big CERN. That's for the big CERN. For something that I might want to get a license on, it says a licensee, me, if I want to use somebody else's stuff, right? May copy. I can copy it. I can distribute it. I can display and perform the work and make derivatives. I had to look that word up. Derivatives work. See, terms. Now, derivatives is used, I think, in accounting. But right now, we ain't talking about accounting. We're talking about licensing, which is law. So the term definition varies. This is the kind of stuff I'm saying that as an individual, just common person, we don't have the time, energy to put forth the effort to break all of this stuff down. These pages, and this is Wikipedia, meaning this is a summary of what really exists. Some of these things I think people publish, the powers that be published, be 300, 400, something pages long. One person sitting down, how long would it take to read a book that long? You see how I read. And debate to comprehend. This is an Aquarius rant. I'm just fussing. I can't see if you're making any comments. I don't even know if nobody here. But I just need to cuss because I'm just tired of it. You know, this channel used to give me a sense of peace, and it was something that I could focus on, so I wouldn't, get caught up in no bull crap. But it's starting to stressing me out for the last year or so. Anywho, what am I talking about? Where I was just reading what CERN and what its license, CERN's license and its hardware. The hardware is probably the machine, because the software is like, if I understand, I'm not an expert, but I think software is the programs that run any machine or AI or artificial intelligence, where the hardware is the actual machine itself. And so CERN is composed of a machine as well as the hardware that it gives it instructions, or its drivers. I don't know what the terminology is. I'm not in the field. And so what it's saying is that dealing with the hardware, dealing with hardware, right? That these people that are in that field that would benefit from tinkering with CERN can look at it, touch it, flip it, and adjust it in order to what? Perfect it. But they have to deal with that machine based on the restrictions of the license. And I'm sure that license saying you could touch it, you could tweak it, you could turn it, but you can't show it to somebody else, and you can't claim it as your own. I'm just thinking. And so now it makes sense. That's the big CERN. That's why I turned to look at something like maybe I have to deal with. And so I'm just reading. It's called the attributions. What I was talking about earlier, where you got to attribute the work to the creator. No problem. And it's BY, abbreviated BY by. Anyway, the description is licensees, which would be myself if I wanted to pull the image off of Google, may copy. I can copy it. I can distribute it. It says I can display and perform the work and make derivative works, meaning, hey, derivative works say, okay, if this what I'm pulling off of Google, I can take and do this to it. I can make some alterations to it, and remixes based on it only if they give the author or licensor, the person that originally created it, the credits. I gotta give them the credit. Say, hey, whatever the artist is did it, whatever the author is, they did it. in the manner, this is what's tripping me up, in the manner specified by these. Period. By these. Okay. What's these? It's a stop. Okay. And I'm reading from the Common Creative License part on Wikipedia. This is what I printed out so I could try to, because this was more, it was simpler. It says, since, I'm continuing reading the same thing I was just reading. Since version 2.0. What do you mean since? Well, when we start dealing with these creative licenses, it was a 1.0. It was a 2.0. And it was a 3.0. I'm talking about the licensing process. I don't know what the process thing. And it's now currently a 4.0. I don't even know what the 4.0 is. I'm confused. Anywho, it says since version 2.0 of the Creative Commons license, since it was revised to 2.0, all Creative Commons license required attributions, am I saying it right, to the creator and indicate the BY element. So, how do you cite, I guess, a creator? It seems like 1 minute I'm reading and saying you gotta say who the creator is. You gotta give a URL link. Then you gotta give a link for the. I don't know. You have to give a link to the license itself, and you also have to put the license symbols there, so people that know what they looking at, when they look at it, they was like, oh, okay. If I see, I don't know if y'all can see it. It's a little person in a box here or something. If I see this little person in a box, I know what it is. If I see the stream of whatever combination, they said it was how many combinations of something. I forgot how many combinations. There's a certain amount of combinations of license that exist. It even said 5 of those. This will trip me out. I'm just rambling, Aquarius Rant, It said 5 of those combinations of a license are invalid. Oh, fudge you talking about? How are you going to say that there are X, Y, and Z amount of licenses and then say 11 of them are under Creative Commons licensing? Out of them 11, 5 of them is not valid. It'll say, what am I fussing about? I'm talking about common creators like myself, small time creators. People that just get on here to create something and to explore, to get their mind off of stuff and not get in too much trouble like myself. This is overwhelming. It really is. I guess we could just get on here and talk. But again, they just streamline that too. You can't even really say how you feel. You can't even say what you stand for. If you righteous, you better not let it be known that you righteous. But people don't believe that you can be righteous, that you can follow the natural laws as close as possible. We all sinners. But you know what I'm saying? If you do that, then you are in contempt of offending this platform. Everybody better keep their eyes open. And I know y'all, again, like Nancy, what does it have to do with me as a person that just come on YouTube and use it and access it? Guess what? I hear a lot of people say they don't watch TV anymore. It's programming. Well, guess what? When the modifications occur to platforms such as this, the streamlining, what you will once again be watching is what? Programming. Once we're forced into compliance or we're alienated or ostracized, then everything that you will be experiencing, witnessing on these platforms will be programming. That's why it's important. Maybe to you, maybe it's important to me too, even from that perspective. I just got another perspective that's important to me from, and again, I could be wrong, but what threw the real flag up for me, I don't remember what I was looking at, but I was going through this stuff here, and I was like, what is this that I'm reading? And I went to the bottom of the page to see when it was, created, and it says September 3rd, 2020. That's a week ago, meaning the change it just took place. This is not the only change that I have seen, and this is totally separate from this. Totally separate, has nothing to do with this. I always tell y'all I'm a lottery player. I like playing the lotteries. I like trying to figure it out, writing numbers, doing my little tricks to try to figure out what's gonna fall. And so I always keep up with the latest information, in Michigan on relative to the lottery and different stuff. And it was back in, this was last year, near the closing of last year. What I realized is that maybe 2 or 3 weeks prior to the moment I was on the, on this site, they had changed the laws surrounding the lottery or the regulations, and it was saying, hey, if people hit the lottery, hey, they gonna take that money for anything you owe. A lot of people didn't know that. It just happened. They used to take the money for, if you owed the government or something like that, or they was taking it for everything, medical bills, everything. So what am I saying? Why am I bringing it up? Because that was the end of last year. It ain't even a year. It might be going on just about a year from the time I had, read that about the lottery. So what am I saying? I'm saying the powers that be right now are changing different laws and regulations and policies to break down the little man, and we ain't seeing it. How are all of these changes taking place with laws, regulations, policies? Why? How? Overnight. We can't watch everything. I can't watch everything. You alone cannot watch everything. But this is the catch. There are people in each one of these fields or career areas or jobs that are there. And they're seeing it. Why it's happening? But they're scared to say something. They just do their job, push their buttons, write what they can write, try to get paid, try to sustain their life and their lifestyle. But they know these things are happening. And then before the public know it, it's like a person, like I'm saying here on YouTube, go to create something, try to be a little clever, try to be a little entertaining, catch a big old strike, lose their channel. Don't know why. Maybe I'm making something up. I'll find out soon. Because if what I'm saying is the case, then people start talking about it more and more. Or after I make this video, then if somebody's already talking about it, YouTube will suggest them to me. One way or another, I'm going to find out. Or another example that I'm going to let y'all go. It's like the people that hit the lottery after they changed some laws, they found out because they went to go cash their ticket. They probably owed the doctor off of something, paying on a little bit or something. Maybe got behind, something. Maybe lost a job, whatever, had something, and they owed the doctor. They like, I get it. This might be a person that paid their bills all the time. Bam, they hit the lottery for big money. They go down to the state of Michigan office to cash ticket in, and the person come back with a receipt saying, oh, you paid for your spouse's, I don't know, Botox or the baby to be born, or I don't know, you had an x-ray that you got that the insurance didn't cover, and you got the bill, or you never got the bill but you owe them, and took the money. What? And that money could have been to save their house in a moment right now, but it was an overlooked x-ray bill that's the winter collections. I'm gonna let y'all go. I'm telling y'all, it's something going on now. It's something going on. I'm gonna let y'all go because I'll be cussing and fussing. I'm gonna close that. Oh, I may already be off because the show enough act like it's froze. And this dirty mother sucker will let me create 12 videos. And it end up with no sound in the end. Ooh, Lord. All right, George, thank you for sticking with me. Oh, nope, it's scrolling. Um, this is a side note, Nancy. I've seen these billboards of this woman named Shiko Newman. She's running for city council. And guess what? She looks like she could be your twin sister. Really? You say Newman. I'm a Google this person. Google that. I'm out of here, y'all. Good night. Thank you for hanging with me and allowing me to cuss and fuss. She's here in Victor Village, California. Oh, really? Victor Village. I've never heard of Victor Village, California. Oh, I'm going to check that out, too. Thank y'all once again for coming here to Can Angels Fly and allowing me to perform my Aquarius rant. Until next time. Bye. I'll just keep silent until I can keep. I'm just acting silly, y'all. Keep smiling till my computer let me get off. Yeah, I'm hungry.